What if I told you that your Wi-Fi password might not be protecting your network at all? And what if I told you that someone could be intercepting your sensitive data right now? Welcome back to Tech Sky. In today's comprehensive video, we're covering everything from basic Wi-Fi concepts to advanced security testing. But before we begin, I need to make something absolutely clear. Everything demonstrated in this video is strictly for educational purposes. The knowledge we'll cover is essential for network security professionals and ethical hackers conducting authorized security assessments. Using these techniques without explicit permission is not only unethical, but illegal. All demonstrations will be performed in our controlled lab environment using our own testing equipment. We'll start with fundamentals and work our way through practical implementations. Most importantly, you'll understand how to properly secure networks against attacks. Get ready for a complete learning odyssey that will transform your understanding of wireless network security. Remember, knowledge is power, but with great power comes great responsibility.
What's on our learning odyssey? Our odyssey through gaining access attacks will be a journey grounded in ethical principles and responsible use of knowledge. WEP Introduction: delve into the vulnerabilities of wired equivalent privacy, WEP, understanding its weaknesses to advocate for stronger encryption standards. WEP Practical: explore fundamental techniques for understanding and mitigating the risks associated with WEP, promoting the use of more secure alternatives. Fake Authentication Attack: learn about strategic fake authentication attacks, crucial for ethical penetration testing within legal boundaries, emphasizing the importance of obtaining explicit permission. ARP Request Replay: delve into the intricacies of ARP Request Replay attacks, highlighting the ethical necessity of obtaining proper authorization before attempting such maneuvers. WPA Theory: shift our focus to Wi-Fi Protected Access, WPA, unraveling its theoretical underpinnings with the aim of promoting awareness about secure encryption practices. Handshake Theory: thoroughly explore the handshake, a critical aspect of gaining access to WPA encrypted networks, always with the intention of ethical use within authorized environments. Capturing handshakes: equip ourselves with the tools and techniques to capture handshakes responsibly, emphasizing their use for educational and ethical purposes in penetration testing. Creating word lists: embark on word list exploration as a means to enhance our knowledge and preparedness for ethical hacking scenarios, always adhering to legal and responsible use. Word list exploring: use word list exploration techniques to understand password vulnerabilities and promote the importance of strong, secure passwords without engaging in unauthorized access attempts. Securing networks from attacks: conclude our exploration with insights into securing networks against potential attacks, highlighting the ethical responsibility that comes with ethical hacking and advocating for proactive cybersecurity measures. Wired equivalent privacy stands as a historical testament to the early attempts at securing wireless networks. Introduced as an encryption protocol, it played a pivotal role in the evolution of wireless communication. It operates on the RC4 encryption algorithm, a stream cipher celebrated for its simplicity. It is aimed to fortify the confidentiality of data transmitted between routers and clients. While WEP's adoption marked a significant stride in wireless security, its vulnerabilities have become apparent over time. As we delve into the annals of encryption history, it's essential to understand the strengths and weaknesses that WEP brought to the forefront of wireless networking. Encryption process. Picture this intricate ballet of data security. The router, like a diligent guardian, adorns each outgoing packet with a cloak of encryption, a digital veil that conceals the contents within. This cryptographic transformation, executed through the RC4 encryption algorithm, is the router's way of safeguarding sensitive information from the prying eyes of potential eavesdroppers. As these encrypted packets pirouette through the airwaves, they carry within them a secret that only the designated client can unveil. Armed with the shared decryption key, the client gracefully catches each packet and performs a mesmerizing reverse dance. In this delicate choreography, the once encoded data is revealed in its original form, accessible and intelligible only to those with the key, a secret handshake in the digital realm. Yet, in this mesmerizing dance of secrecy, vulnerabilities can emerge as missteps in the choreography. The RC4 encryption algorithm, once celebrated for its simplicity, has shown signs of wear over time. Cracks in the cryptographic dance floor have been discovered, creating potential entry points for those with malicious intent. As we unravel the nuances of this encryption tango, we'll delve into the vulnerabilities that have surfaced, prompting the evolution of wireless security beyond the age of WEP. Unique keystream and initialization vector. Enter the secret sauce of WEP's encryption magic, the initialization vector. Think of it as a unique identifier, a 24-bit random number that adds an alluring twist to the cryptographic dance. This seemingly random sequence injects variability into the encryption process, ensuring that each packet's keystream takes on a distinctive form, akin to a snowflake in a digital blizzard. In essence, the IV contributes to the complexity of the encryption, making it challenging for potential eavesdroppers to predict the keystream's pattern. This element of unpredictability is crucial in fortifying the security of WEP encrypted communications. The dynamic nature of the IV enriches the cryptographic landscape, making it a vital component in the quest for secure wireless communication. However, even in this dance of encryption prowess, a gap in WEP's armor appears. IV, although essential to its cryptographic function, is paradoxically exposed. Each packet, wrapped in a cloak of encryption, carries its own unique IV in clear plain text. It's an interesting paradox where a factor designed to enhance security becomes a threat when exposed to all. Vulnerabilities and statistical attacks. Now, let's unveil the Achilles heel that haunts WEP's encrypted dance floor, the limited 24-bit initialization vector. Picture a bustling network, a digital metropolis filled with data traffic, where the IVs, though intended to be unique snowflakes, find themselves caught in the whirlwind of repetition. In the midst of high-traffic scenarios, the confined space of 24 bits becomes a crowded realm, leading to an inevitable occurrence, the repetition of IVs. This seemingly innocuous repetition transforms into a vulnerability, akin to a repeated note in a symphony, creating a pattern that keen observers can exploit. Herein lies the gateway to statistical attacks. Imagine an adept attacker, armed with the right tools and a keen analytical eye, observing the network's ballet of repeated IVs. Like a code-breaking maestro, the attacker discerns patterns within the seemingly chaotic dance. These discernible patterns become the breadcrumbs leading to the coveted encryption key, unraveling the once secure cloak that WEP draped over its data. In this digital cat-and-mouse game, the limitations of the 24-bit IV expose WEP to a sophisticated form of attack. Exploring network security with Aircrack-ng. Aircrack-ng play a crucial role in identifying and addressing vulnerabilities within wireless networks. Aircrack-ng, often hailed as a valuable asset in the ethical hacker's toolkit, acts as a digital investigator, carefully examining the weaknesses present in WEP's cryptographic framework. In the realm of ethical cybersecurity practices, Aircrack-ng focuses on understanding the intricacies of initialization vectors to enhance network security. Instead of exploiting vulnerabilities, the tool collects data on repeated IVs as a part of a comprehensive analysis, mirroring the meticulous work of a detective solving a complex case. Aircrack-ng utilizes its analytical capabilities to interpret patterns within the seemingly chaotic IVs, with the ultimate goal of strengthening network security. By highlighting the vulnerabilities of WEP, the intention is not to compromise security but to emphasize the importance of securing networks against potential threats. This process serves as a reminder of the ongoing effort to enhance digital security. As ethical hackers uncover weaknesses in outdated systems, the emphasis shifts towards reinforcing networks against potential breaches. The evolution to more robust encryption methods, such as WPA and WPA2, reflects the continuous commitment to learning from past vulnerabilities and creating resilient defenses against unauthorized access. Closing thoughts. As we wrap up this exploration into WEP's vulnerabilities, I encourage you to hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts.
Unraveling the mysteries of WEP cracking. A digital puzzle. Before we plunge into the technical details, let's demystify WEP cracking. WEP, or Wired Equivalent Privacy, was once a widely used security protocol for wireless networks. However, its vulnerabilities have made it a prime target for attackers. WEP cracking involves exploiting these weaknesses to decipher the encryption key used to secure a wireless network. It's like solving a digital puzzle, where each piece of information brings us closer to unraveling the key. The anatomy of WEP cracking. Breaking down the process. To crack WEP, we follow a systematic approach that involves capturing packets, analyzing data, and leveraging specialized tools like Aircrack-ng. Let's break down the process into digestible chunks. Step 1. Packet capture. Building our data arsenal. Our journey begins with capturing packets, the building blocks of our WEP cracking endeavor. We need numerous packets containing unique initialization vectors to increase our chances of success. Think of IVs as the breadcrumbs we need to follow the digital trail leading to the WEP key. The more IVs we gather, the stronger our position becomes. Step 2. Deploying Aircrack-ng. Unleashing statistical sorcery. Once armed with a trove of IV-laden packets, we turn to a powerful tool in our arsenal, Aircrack-ng. This Swiss Army knife of wireless security employs statistical attacks to decipher the key stream and unveil the elusive WEP key. It's like wielding a digital wand that magically transforms raw data into actionable insights. But remember, Aircrack-ng works best when we have a substantial number of packets at our disposal. A practical demonstration. From theory to reality. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's witness WEP cracking into action with a practical demonstration. Imagine ourselves in a bustling digital landscape, surrounded by Wi-Fi networks vying for our attention. Our target, the enigmatic TechSky network. Here's how we proceed. Step 1. Aerodump-ng. Surveying the digital terrain. Before we embark on our WEP cracking expedition, we must first switch our wireless interface to monitor mode. As I've covered in a previous video, this essential step allows us to passively capture packets from nearby networks without associating with any specific access point. Then we begin by deploying Aerodump-ng to survey the Wi-Fi landscape and identify our target network. We unleash a digital reconnaissance with a few keystrokes, scanning for networks within our Wi-Fi range. The output reveals the TechSky network, beckoning us to delve deeper into its secrets. Step 2. Capturing packets. Building our data repository. With our target identified, we set Aerodump-ng to capture packets from the TechSky network. Each captured packet brings us closer to our goal, like pieces of a puzzle waiting to be assembled. We monitor the data flow, eagerly awaiting the critical mass of IVs that will unlock the door to the WEP key. Step 3. Aircrack-ng. Cracking the code. Armed with a wealth of captured packets, we unleash Aircrack-ng to work its statistical sorcery. With bated breath, we watch as Aircrack-ng analyzes the data, probing for vulnerabilities and exploiting weaknesses in the WEP encryption. It's a digital showdown between attacker and defender, with the WEP key hanging in the balance. The moment of triumph decrypting the WEP key. After patiently waiting, Aircrack-ng delivers the ultimate prize, the decrypted WEP key. With a triumphant keystroke, we seize control of the TechSky network, armed with the knowledge to connect seamlessly. Whether using the password or the hexadecimal key, victory is ours. Conclusion. The power of knowledge in the digital realm. As we conclude our journey into WEP cracking, let's reflect on the power of knowledge in the digital realm. With the right tools and techniques, we can navigate the complexities of wireless security and emerge victorious. In our last session, we uncovered the vulnerabilities of WEP encryption on busy networks. Today, we're venturing into a scenario where the network is quiet and data traffic is scarce. Join me as we explore the intricate strategy of executing a fake authentication attack to crack the WEP key, even in such conditions. Step 1. Switching to monitor mode. Before we embark on our attack, let's ensure our wireless interface is properly configured. We'll start by examining our interface mode using the command iwconfig. This command provides essential information about our wireless interface, including its mode. In our case, we'll find that our interface is currently set to managed mode, which is not conducive to our attack. To proceed, we need to switch our interface to monitor mode, which allows us to passively listen to all wireless traffic within range. But before we do that, we need to obtain the MAC address of our wireless device, which will be used later in the attack. We can retrieve this information by executing ifconfig WLAN0, where WLAN0 is the name of our wireless interface. Now armed with our MAC address, we'll initiate the transition to monitor mode. This involves bringing down our wireless interface with ifconfig WLAN0 down, ensuring there are no conflicts with other processes using airman-ng check kill, and finally switching the interface to monitor mode with ibuconfig WLAN0 mode monitor. Once completed, we'll bring our interface back up with ifconfig WLAN0 up. With our interface successfully switched to monitor mode, we're now ready to proceed to the next step. Step 2. Targeting TechSky. With our interface configured correctly, let's identify our target, the TechSky access point. We'll utilize the AeroDump-ng tool to list all nearby wireless networks and their associated clients. Running AeroDump-ng WLAN0 provides us with a comprehensive overview of the wireless landscape around us. Once we've identified the TechSky network, we'll focus our attention on it by filtering the results using its BSSID, which is the MAC address, and the channel, which is the channel number. This ensures that we're specifically targeting the TechSky network for our attack. Now execute command AeroDump-ng, BSSID, here write the MAC address of your access point, and channel, write the channel number here, then WLAN0, which allows us to narrow down our focus to the TechSky network operating on channel 6. Upon inspection, we may notice that there are no clients currently connected to the TechSky network, and the data traffic is minimal. This presents a challenge for us, as the lack of data packets makes it difficult to crack the WEP using traditional methods. Injecting packets for traffic generation. To overcome this obstacle, we need to inject packets into the network to stimulate traffic. By doing so, we can force the access point to generate new packets containing initialization vectors, which are essential for WEP key cracking. However, before we can inject packets, we must first authenticate our device with the access point. Step 3. Executing fake authentication. To initiate the fake authentication attack, we'll start by setting our wireless interface to the appropriate channel using the command airman-ng start WLAN06. This ensures that our interface is synchronized with the TechSky network's channel, facilitating communication between our device and the access point. Next, we'll execute the fake authentication attack using airplay-ng, fakeauth, 0, A, here MAC address of our access point, H, and here is the MAC address of our device, E, which is the name of our access point, WLAN0. Let's break down this command. Fakeauth0 specifies the type of attack, fake authentication, and the number of packets to send. In this case, 0 indicates that we want to perform the attack once. A MAC specifies the MAC address of the target access point TechSky. H MAC specifies the MAC address of our wireless device, obtained earlier. ESSID specifies the network name of the target network TechSky. WLAN0 specifies the name of our wireless interface in monitor mode. Upon execution, this command initiates the fake authentication process between our device and the TechSky access point. The access point will recognize our device as a legitimate client, despite not being actually connected to the network. This authentication association enables us to inject packets into the access point, bypassing the requirement for an actual connection. Results of fake authentication. Following successful fake authentication, we'll observe a change in the authentication status auth field in the AeroDump-ng output. The absence of a value in the auth field prior to the attack indicates that no authentication was established. However, after executing the fake authentication attack, we should see an OPN value in the auth field, indicating a successful authentication association. With this association established, we now have the capability to inject packets into the TechSky network, even though we're not physically connected to it. This opens up opportunities for further exploitation and WEP key cracking, despite the initially sparse data traffic. By executing a fake authentication attack, We've demonstrated the strategic approach required to crack a WEP key in scenarios with minimal data traffic. In our next video, we'll delve even deeper into packet injection techniques and explore advanced strategies for network exploitation. As we navigate the intricacies of ethical hacking, let this journey be a testament to the fact that security is not merely a destination but an ongoing pursuit. The vulnerabilities unearthed in protocols like WEP serve as valuable lessons, propelling us toward innovation and the development of more resilient defenses. In this evolving digital frontier, knowledge isn't just power, it's the very key that unlocks the doors to a secure future. Step 1. Switch the wireless interface to monitor mode. I've explained this step in many of my previous videos. If you're already familiar with it, feel free to skip ahead to the next step. For those new to this, let's go through it in detail. First, we need to switch our wireless interface to monitor mode. Monitor mode allows us to capture all wireless traffic in our vicinity, making it crucial for our RP replay attack. Let's begin by checking the current mode of our wireless interface. Open your terminal and run the command iwconfig. This command displays the current configuration of your wireless interfaces. You'll likely see that your wireless interface is set to managed mode, which is the default mode for regular Wi-Fi use. Before switching to monitor mode, we need to get the MAC address of our wireless interface. Run the command ifconfig WLAN 0. Here, WLAN 0 is the name of our wireless interface. This command will display detailed information about the interface, including the MAC address. Note down this address, as we'll need it later in our process. Now, let's switch our interface to monitor mode. Start by bringing the interface down, ifconfig WLAN 0 down. This command disables the wireless interface, preparing it for the mode switch. Next, we need to terminate any processes that might interfere with the switch. Use the command airman-ng check kill. This command ensures that no other processes are using the wireless interface. At this point, your Wi-Fi connection will be temporarily disconnected. Next, switch the wireless interface to monitor mode by running iwconfig WLAN 0 mode monitor. This command changes the mode of the interface from managed to monitor. To bring the interface back up and enable monitor mode, run ifconfig WLAN 0 up. Now, verify the mode change by running iwconfig again. You should now see that the wireless interface is set to monitor mode. Great. We've successfully switched our wireless interface to monitor mode. This setup allows us to capture and analyze wireless traffic, setting the stage for our RP replay attack. Step 2. Perform a fake authentication attack. In the last step, we successfully switched our wireless interface to monitor mode. Now, we need to perform a fake authentication attack to associate our device with the target network. If you're familiar with this process from our previous video, feel free to skip ahead to step 3. For those who need a refresher, let's dive in. First, we need to identify our target network. We'll start by scanning for nearby Wi-Fi networks. Open your terminal and run aerodump-ng WLAN 0. This command will display all the Wi-Fi networks in your vicinity, along with their details, including the BSS ID and the channel number. Look for our target network, TechSky, which is a WEP encrypted network. Once you've identified the target network, note down its BSS ID and channel number. We need these details to focus our attack on this specific network. Next, we'll refine our scan to target only TechSky. Run the following command aerodump-ng BSS ID, write the MAC address of the target network here. Channel, write the channel number here on which the target network operates. Write, saves the captured data into a file named RP replay for later use. WLAN 0 indicates the name of our wireless interface in monitor mode. Press enter to execute the command. You'll see that currently, there are no devices connected to the TechSky network. This is because we haven't performed the fake authentication attack yet. Now, let's perform the fake authentication attack. This attack will make the access point believe that our device is a legitimate client, allowing us to inject packets. Run the following command, airplay-ng facauth 6000, which specifies the fake authentication attack with a reassociation delay of 6,000 seconds. 01. indicates the number of authentication requests to send, in this case 1. A, which specifies the MAC address of the target network. H, specifies the MAC address of our wireless interface. WLAN 0 indicates the name of our wireless interface in monitor mode. Press Enter to execute the command. The terminal will show that the fake authentication attack is in progress. Once it's successful, our device will be authenticated with the network. Now, switch back to the terminal, where we are running aerodump-ng. You should see that the auth column now shows OPN, indicating an open authentication, and our device appears as a connected client on the network. Great job! We've successfully performed a fake authentication attack. This sets the stage for our next step, the RP replay attack. Stay tuned as we dive into step 3, where we will generate and capture RP requests to crack the WEP key. Step 3. Perform an RP replay attack. In the previous steps, we switched our wireless interface to monitor mode and performed a fake authentication attack. Now it's time to perform the RP replay attack. This is the exciting part where we'll generate and capture RP packets to eventually crack the WEP key. To begin the RP replay attack, open your terminal and run the following command, Airplay-ng RP-replay, which specifies the RP replay attack mode. B, which indicates the MAC address of the target network. H, specifies the MAC address of your wireless interface. WLAN 0 refers to the name of your wireless interface in monitor mode. You'll notice that it begins to capture and replay RP packets. This process is crucial because it generates a high volume of traffic, which helps in collecting the necessary initialization vectors required to crack the WEP key. However, this process can take some time, as it depends on the amount of traffic generated and captured. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to terminate this process prematurely due to time constraints. But in a real scenario, you should let it run to collect as many packets as possible, especially RP packets, to ensure the success of the attack. Once you've collected enough packets, we can proceed to crack the WEP key. Open the file manager and navigate to the directory where your capture file is saved. Confirm the name of your capture file. In this example, the file name is rpreplay-01.cap. Now, let's use Aircrack-ng to decrypt the packets and retrieve the WEP key. Run the following command, Aircrack-ng rpreplay-01.cap. Aircrack-ng will start processing the captured packets. It attempts to decrypt the packets to extract the WEP key. However, because I didn't collect enough packets in the previous step, the process is likely to fail. As you can see, Aircrack-ng displays a message indicating that it needs at least 5,000 IVs to succeed. This means you need to be patient and let the RP replay attack run longer to gather the required amount of data. Remember, this video is a demonstration of the process. In practice, you should allow enough time to collect sufficient packets to ensure a successful attack. How to protect your Wi-Fi network from potential attacks. We understand the importance of safeguarding your personal and professional data from unauthorized access, and that's why this video is essential for anyone using a wireless network. Before we get into the details of how to secure your Wi-Fi, it's crucial to understand how attackers might gain access to your network. This knowledge will help you implement the right measures to protect your network effectively. It's worth noting that the technique discussed here should only be practiced in a controlled environment, such as your own lab network, and not on any unauthorized network. Our goal is to educate you on potential security risks and how to mitigate them, not to promote illegal activities. But before we jump into the practical steps, it's crucial to understand the theory behind it. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only. Please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends to spread awareness about Wi-Fi security. Let's get started. What is WPA? Wi-Fi Protected Access, or WPA, was developed to address the security vulnerabilities found in WEP encryption. WEP, or Wired Equivalent Privacy, had a major flaw, the short initialization vector, which was sent in plain text within each packet. This short IV made it possible for attackers to exhaust the unique IVs quickly, especially in a busy network. Once exhausted, attackers could capture packets with repeated IVs and use statistical attacks to crack the WEP key. However, WPA, was designed to overcome these issues. In WPA, each packet is encrypted with a unique, temporary key, which means that no matter how many packets we capture, they will not provide the same kind of information that could help in cracking the encryption key. This significant improvement made WPA a much stronger and more secure protocol compared to WEP. How does WPA work? Each packet in WPA is encrypted with a unique, temporary key, unlike WEP, where IVs are reused. Even if we capture 1,000,000 packets, each will have a different IV, rendering them useless for traditional statistical attacks. WPA2, the successor to WPA, operates on the same principles but uses a more advanced encryption algorithm called CCMP, which stands for Counter-Mode Cipher Blockchaining Message Authentication Code Protocol. Understanding the handshake. The key to cracking WPA encryption lies in capturing the handshake packets. When a device connects to a WPA-protected network, a process called the four-way handshake occurs. During this handshake, 4 packets are exchanged between the device and the access point to authenticate the connection. These handshake packets contain the necessary information to potentially crack the WPA key. Here's a simplified breakdown of the four-way handshake. Authentication request. The device sends an authentication request to the AP. Challenge from AP. The AP responds with a challenge. Device response. The device sends a response, proving it knows the WPA key. Final authentication. The AP confirms the device's response and allows the connection. By capturing these handshake packets, we can use a word list in conjunction with tools like Aircrack-ng to test each password in the word list against the handshake data. This process involves checking each password to see if it can successfully decrypt the handshake packets, ultimately revealing the WPA key. What do we need to crack WPA? To crack a WPA encrypted network, we need 2 main things. Captured handshake. This is the 4-packet sequence exchanged when a device connects to the network. Word list. A comprehensive list of potential passwords that we can test against the captured handshake. Now that we've covered the theoretical part of WPA encryption, it's time to dive into the practical steps. First of all, I will guide you through switching your wireless interface to monitor mode, an essential step in capturing the handshake packets. If you're familiar with this process from our previous videos, feel free to skip ahead. For everyone else, let's get started. First, open your terminal. To perform the necessary actions, you need root access. Enter the command sudo su. This command grants you superuser privileges, allowing you to execute commands with administrative rights. Next, let's check the current mode of your wireless interface. Run the following command, iwconfig. This command displays your wireless interface settings. You'll see that your wireless interface, usually named WLAN0, is currently in managed mode. Before switching modes, you need to bring down the wireless interface. Execute the command, ifconfig WLAN0 down. This command temporarily disables your wireless interface, preparing it for mode change. To ensure a smooth transition, you must kill any processes that might interfere with the mode switch. Run the command, airman-ng check kill. This command terminates any conflicting processes that could cause issues while setting the monitor mode. Now let's switch the wireless interface to monitor mode. Execute the command, iwconfig WLAN0 mode monitor. This command changes the mode of your wireless interface from managed to monitor. In monitor mode, your wireless interface can capture all packets in the network, not just those addressed to it. After switching modes, you need to bring the wireless interface back up. Run the command, ifconfig WLAN0 up. This command re-enables your wireless interface, now operating in monitor mode. Finally, let's verify that the mode change was successful. Run the command again, iwconfig. You should see that your wireless interface, WLAN0, is now in monitor mode. Congratulations! You've successfully switched your wireless interface to monitor mode. Now that we've switched our wireless interface to monitor mode, it's time to capture the WPA handshake. This step is crucial for cracking the WPA key. In this section, we'll use aerodump-ng and airplay-ng to capture the handshake packets from a target network. First, let's capture all the networks around us using aero-dump-ng. Open your terminal and enter the following command, aero-dump-ng will LAN 0. This command will display a list of all the wireless networks within range, along with their respective details such as BSS ID, channel and encryption type. Identify your target network from this list. In our example, the target network is TechSky. Now, we'll focus on capturing the handshake packets from the target network. To do this, run the following command, aero-dump-ng BSSID, write the MAC address of the target network. Channel, write the channel number here. Write WPA Handshake, which is the name of our captured packets file. WLAN 0, which is the name of our wireless interface. Once you run this command, aero-dump-ng will start capturing packets from the target network, displaying both the network details and any connected clients. To capture the handshake, we have two options. Passive capture. Simply wait for a device to connect to the network. When a device connects, the handshake packets will be transmitted, and aero-dump-ng will capture them. Active capture via the authentication attack. Force a connected device to disconnect and reconnect, thereby triggering the handshake. This method is faster and more reliable. Let's explore this method in detail. To perform a deauthentication attack, we'll use Aircrack-ng. This attack will momentarily disconnect a device from the network, causing it to reconnect and generate the handshake packets. Run the following command, Aircrack-ng deauth4 indicates 4 deauthentication packets. A specifies the MAC address of the target AP. C specifies the MAC address of the client device to be disconnected. WLAN 0 is the wireless interface in monitor mode. To find the client MAC address, look at the list of connected devices in the aero-dump-ng output. After running the deauthentication command, the target device will disconnect and then reconnect to the network. During this reconnection, the handshake packets will be transmitted. Check your aero-dump-ng terminal to see if the handshake was captured. You should see a message indicating the capture of the WPA handshake. Once the handshake is captured, you'll see a line in the aero-dump-ng output indicating a successful capture, typically shown as WPA Handshake BSSID of the target access point. Congratulations! You've successfully captured the WPA handshake. Now that we've successfully captured the WPA handshake, the next step is to create a word list to crack the WPA key. A word list is a compilation of possible passwords that the Aircrack-ng tool will use to try and crack the WPA encryption by comparing each word in the list against the captured handshake. The effectiveness of this step relies heavily on the quality and comprehensiveness of the word list. The word list is essentially a brute force attack method where every word in the list is tested against the captured handshake until the correct password is found. If the password is included in the word list, Aircrack-ng will successfully crack the WPA key. However, if the password is not in the word list, the attack will fail. Therefore, the more comprehensive the word list, the higher the chances of success. To create our word list, we will use a tool called Crunch. Crunch allows us to generate custom word lists based on specified criteria, such as the length of the passwords and the characters they contain. For this demonstration, we will create a word list that consists of passwords made up of only 2 characters, 1 and 2. The passwords will be 8 characters in length. Now, open your terminal and run the following command. Crunch, it is the name of the tool. 8 specifies the minimum number of characters for the password to be generated. And next 8 specifies the maximum number of characters for the password to be generated. In our case, we are only interested in generating passwords of length 8. That's why the minimum and maximum lengths of passwords are the same. 1, 2. Specify the characters that we want to use in the password. wordlist.txt. Option specifies the file name where the passwords are going to be stored. After running the command, Crunch will generate the word list and display its progress in the terminal. The output will indicate the total number of generated passwords, the size of the word list file, and where the file is saved. For our example, with a password length of 8 characters and using only 1 and 2, Crunch will generate 256 possible combinations. Our word list file, wordlist.txt, will contain all these combinations and will be approximately 2 KB in size. This small size is due to the limited character set and short password length in our example. In real-world scenarios, where passwords are more complex and longer, the word list file can grow significantly in size, potentially reaching gigabytes or even terabytes. We are now at the final step of our WPA and WPA2 cracking process. In this step, we will use Aircrack-ng to crack the WPA key using the handshake we captured and the word list we created in the previous steps. This process involves testing each password in the word list against the captured handshake until the correct password is found. Let's dive into the details of this process. To crack the WPA or WPA2 encryption, Aircrack-ng uses a process that involves creating a pairwise master key for each password in the word list. The PMK is generated using an algorithm called PBKDF2, which combines the password and the SSID of the target AP. This PMK is then compared to the captured handshake. If the PMK matches, the password used to create it is the correct WPA key. If it doesn't match, Aircrack-ng moves on to the next password in the word list. Before we start cracking, ensure that you have the following files ready. The captured handshake file, in this example, WPA_handshake-01.cap. The word list file, in this example, wordlist.txt. Open your terminal and run the following command, Aircrack-ng. Here is our captured packets file, WPA_handshake-01.cap. W the generated word list file, wordlist.txt. Press enter to run the command. Aircrack-ng will start processing the word list and testing each password against the captured handshake. The tool will display the progress in the terminal, showing the current password being tested and the overall progress through the word list. If the correct password is in the word list, Aircrack-ng will display the WPA key when a match is found. We've now completed the process of cracking the WPA key using Aircrack-ng and a word list. By capturing the handshake and creating a comprehensive word list, we've demonstrated how Aircrack-ng systematically tests each password to determine the correct WPA key. In our previous section, we explored how hackers attempt to crack Wi-Fi passwords. Now it's crucial to focus on securing our Wi-Fi network to prevent such attacks. Let's dive into the steps you can take to safeguard your Wi-Fi. To begin securing your network, you'll need to access your router's settings page. Every router has a web-based interface where you can configure its settings. Start by finding the IP address of your computer. Open a terminal and run ifconfig-lon0 to locate your IP address. Note down the highlighted part, which is your computer's IP. Next, open a web browser and type 192.168.1.1 in the address bar. This is typically the IP address of your router. If your computer's IP ends in .2, change it to .1 because that's usually the router's IP in the subnet. This will take you to the router settings page. On the router settings page, you'll be prompted to enter a username and password. This information is usually provided by your internet service provider or written on the sticker attached to your router. Enter these credentials to access the settings. Once logged in, it's important to strengthen your router's security settings. If possible, connect to the router using an Ethernet cable to prevent potential deauthentication attacks. Modify settings such as encryption type, preferably WPA2 or WPA3, Wi-Fi password, and other security configurations as recommended by your router's manufacturer. Every router model has different settings, but the process of accessing and modifying them remains similar. Ensure your Wi-Fi network is secure by making these necessary adjustments. But first of all, we will generate a strong Wi-Fi password. Open a new tab in your browser and search for a strong Wi-Fi password generator. One recommended site is Rotten Wi-Fi, or choose any trusted generator. Select a password length of at least 8 characters and include all character types uppercase, lowercase, numbers and special characters. Click the Generate Password button and copy the generated password. Now that we've generated a strong Wi-Fi password, it's crucial to store it securely. Here's how you can do it. Firstly, open your File Explorer and create a new text file. Name it something memorable, like Wi-Fi_password. Open the file and paste the copied password into it. Be sure to save the file by pressing Ctrl+S. Next, open your web browser and navigate to Google Drive. If you haven't already, sign in to your Google account. Upload the password file wifi_password.txt, your Google Drive. This ensures your password is securely stored in the cloud, accessible only by you. By saving your Wi-Fi password on Google Drive, you no longer need to memorize it. You can access it securely from any device with an internet connection. This method provides convenience while maintaining security. Now that we've generated a strong password and securely stored it on Google Drive, let's enhance our Wi-Fi security by updating our router settings. Firstly, return to your Wi-Fi router settings page. Navigate to the Wireless tab and locate the security settings. Here, you'll see your current wireless security information, including the SSID, which is the Wi-Fi network name, and network authentication currently set to WPA PSK. To enhance security, update the network authentication to WPA2PSK. Click on the Authentication drop-down menu and select WPA2PSK. Now in the password field below, click to display the current password. As you can see, it's recommended to use a strong password, so let's paste the new password we generated earlier into this field. Click to display the password again to confirm it's correct. Finally, click the Apply or Save button to save your changes. Your new Wi-Fi password and security settings are now updated to WPA2PSK, ensuring stronger protection for your network. Now let's dive into an interesting experiment to understand the complexity and security of our new Wi-Fi password. We want to see how long it would take to generate a word list of 8-character passwords including only lowercase English alphabets, and how much memory it would cover. Firstly, open your terminal and use the Crunch tool to generate a word list containing all possible combinations of 8-character passwords using only lowercase English alphabets. By running this command, Crunch will create a word list that includes all possible 8-character combinations of lowercase letters. After running the command, you can see that the size of the file is approximately 1 terabyte. This huge file size demonstrates the immense number of possible combinations, even with just lowercase letters. Now imagine generating a word list that includes all uppercase and lowercase alphabets, numbers, and special characters. The complexity and size of the word list would increase exponentially. The storage required for such a word list would be impractically large, possibly running into petabytes or even exabytes. The time taken to generate and use this word list would be incredibly long, making it impractical for attackers to use brute force methods. This experiment highlights the strength and security of your new Wi-Fi password. Even if an attacker managed to create a word list with random passwords, the sheer size and complexity would make it extremely difficult and time-consuming to decrypt using tools like Aircrack-ng. By understanding these factors, you can see why having a strong, complex password significantly enhances your Wi-Fi security. Your network is now robust and well protected against potential attacks. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Let me know in the comments below what other Kali Linux tools you'd like me to cover in future videos. Don't forget to subscribe to TechSky for more tutorials and tech tips. Until next time, happy scanning!